Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody, to another video. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who has left a comment in the comment section below on previous videos. Even more so, anyone that is subscribed to the channel. As you guys know, the channel is growing, and we really couldn't, I guess, get the information out without you guys, without really having an audience to share it with. So if you're viewing the content, liking the content, doing your part to start a dialogue, we just want to say that we appreciate it. Last night, actually, when I came in this morning, I was made aware that last night we had received a request from an individual on one of the social media platforms. They're going to remain unnamed at this point, and they asked us to check out a website called Tronbet. And I guess this individual had saw the video that we had put out in regards to hit Dapps and the blockchain game that's running on Tron's decentralized blockchain called FOMO. I take it the individual was playing Tronbet. I don't know how long they've been on the platform, but I guess things had come to a head yesterday as we had received a plethora of material, we'll say, that suggested that this individual felt that Tronbet was defrauding its users. And to that, we made sure to say, hey, if this is a stand that you have, we really want to make sure that you have adequate representation to support this claim, as we're not necessarily in the business of spreading FUD, more so in the business of keeping things very fair, accurate, and honest. And if there is something to tell, then it's our responsibility to tell, to get that information out. So this individual, they had sent materials over to us and requested that we had taken a look at it to see if we could basically come to the same decision that he had. And I had never really used Tronbet before. Today is my first time actually really spending an adequate amount of time looking at it. I know there have been other YouTubers that have looked at it, that have reviewed it, that have suggested that people get into it. And whenever you have YouTubers that are suggesting or hinting or asking that people use the referral link, to us anyway, and to our affiliate partners at various other networks, we're always going to be suspicious of it, because we generally know what comes with that. A lot of times people choose to omit the truth, inflate stories, rather than being 100% completely objective with people. And what we found, Tronbet is not anything really all that much different. So to paint the picture, if you will, Tronbet is basically a gambling website. They are not licensed. They do not have a gambling license. I understand a lot of people say, well, they don't need one because it's a decentralized app and yada yada yada. I'm sure that if enough people were to get burned by this, or if enough people could truly understand what is possibly going on here, Tronbet could potentially be shut down, whether if it's a matter of Justin Sun removing it off the Tron blockchain with the removal of the nodes, or however it needs to be done. We actually did take a look at the Tronbet.io website, if you will, the interface, and it is written on JavaScript. They do have some hosting that's on a server that suggests that maybe it's not 100% decentralized. So I'm going to go as far as to say that if the proper parties at B wanted to shut Tronbet down, they could do it. So before anyone says, well, it's cryptocurrency and you can't shut it down, people said the same thing about BitConnect, and well, you saw how that ended. So here's the deal. When you come to Tronbet, on the surface looking at this, you figure, and I'll show you guys a video here this in a second. You figure that you got to have some Tron here, obviously, to bet. And on the surface, this is okay. It's a prediction. You're basically saying you either want to roll under a certain number or you want to roll over a certain number, and you pick and choose that number. And as you pick and choose the number, if you say I want to roll over 98, well, the slider only goes to 99, so you know there's only a 1% chance that you're going to win. You can say I want to roll over the number 4, and there's a 95% chance that you'll win. Okay, I'm going to refresh this here because there's something I want you to see. So here, I guess, is the default betting amount that players can bet. When we saw the video, it looked to be this was the default betting number. Also, it has a little tab down here where it says payout on win. Now, on the surface, you're looking at this to say, okay, well, if I win this bet, it's going to pay me 20.102 Tron. And I say Tron because it's got the little Tron logo here. I think everyone would say that's correct because you know your minimum bet is going to be $10 is the ante to get in, the ante to play. You want to bet, you got to spend 10. So if you have to spend 10, if you win, you're thinking you're going to win 20 because you know if you lose, you're probably going to lose your bet, your ante, which is 10. Now that that's said, now that everybody's on the same page, let's see if we can queue up the video here that will see if we're on the same plane or not. Okay, so we're just going to play this. And again, keep in mind here, I guess this was the individual's balance that they were playing. Now this isn't a large sum of money. I think it's like 2 cents per Tron times what? 339. We can do the math on that. 339.7217 times 0.02. So it's like $6. Okay. Now for a lot of people, these games are good, cheap, you know, entertainment, which is fine, but a lot of things are about the principle. Okay. So we'll play this and we'll see where exactly it's at. I queued it because we asked the individual to, you know, send us a fair amount of footage so we could see if it was just an anomaly or if this was something that was continuously happening. So we'll go ahead and play it. Again, keep in mind, excuse me, here is what they started with, their Tron balance. Here is, I guess, the amount that they should have won if they won. And obviously, you know, if they lose, they're going to lose 10 Tron. If they're saying they want to roll over 62, they've got a 37% chance of winning. So let's see how it goes. So it's rolling. Okay. So we'll stop there. So you saw that they lost. You see they started with 339 Tron. You see it went down, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but it basically says minus 10 Tron. Okay. So I guess he decided to try his luck and roll again. 329. Okay. So he won. So on that one he won. But it says he was only awarded 16 Tron. But the payout on win says it should have been 26. Now, we had a lot of people in office take a look at this and see basically exactly what they could come up with. And I say 95% of the people who did, in fact, take a look at the video that was sent to us said, yes, on payout, the individual should have been awarded 26 Tron. For the simple fact that $10 is the ante to play. Like, we know that's gone. So 26 is what you should have gotten. If it's anything outside of that, again, the unanimous decision amongst everyone who is looking at this video, or everyone who has said, hey, I've tried playing Tronbet a little bit, or I know people have done it, all pretty much came to the same unanimous decision. This payout on win needs to accurately reflect what users are going to get. Period. And we've got guys in the office who do coding, and they tell me doing this, making this accurately reflect what a winner would get, is not hard to do. I think a lot of times with communication, the things come to a head because there's miscommunication. Nothing clarifies like clarity, right? So for this right here, I could see this if a lot of people started paying attention to this. I could see a lot of people having a problem with that. And again, we're not talking about some huge amount of money. Well, maybe not yet. You know, you can bet 10. I'm sure you can change this to any number, you know, greater than 10 that you want to place a bet on. Then maybe someone places that bet and they think, "Oh, wow, I'm going to get so much more." And they win and they only get so much less. That's going to leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And again, coming off the heels of BitConnect and fraudulent ICOs, I think a lot of people are starting to approach these things with a very, very cautious eye and say, "Hey, we get it. Things in the crypto space, no one in the crypto space does things for the betterment of the community." I'm sure the people who developed Tronbet came up with this as a ways to make money. And it's kind of sleazy that they've got misrepresented or misinformation listed down here, and people think they're going to end up getting paid out one thing and they're actually paid out another. And at the end of the day, it's nothing more than to earn the developers money. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you need to be transparent. We even took a look at the white paper. The white paper doesn't really say anything significant. It doesn't even have the developers' information. We don't know who they are, don't know who they look like, don't even know where they're from. Again, to us, that is something that is very telling. It's very concerning because every other company that you work with or that you do business with, they're very transparent. They put all that information out there, whether it be Nike, whether it be Facebook, whether it be some of your favorite coins. We knew some of the other coins that weren't on the up and up were using fake profile pictures and were using fake profiles, and a lot of coins like Extra Coin, Western Coin, Idea Coin, Ucash Coin, all of those white papers, they didn't mean anything because those companies, they either exit scammed or they're no longer around. We are playing in a different realm right now where people who are involved in cryptocurrency need to be very transparent. If we all want this thing to go where we feel cryptocurrency can go, everybody has to have their cards on the table. Because if not, if things like this and BitConnect and Dapp's Tron FOMO game continue to thrive, we're going to get hit with massive, massive regulation, and it's going to be the kind of regulation that nobody wants. If enough people are burned by Tronbet, you better believe justices from whatever courts will step in, and they will do everything that they can to shut this thing down. Again, I don't think this is a major fix. I still think Tronbet, dare I say it, still has room to fix it. Just change it so it adequately represents what an individual is going to be paid upon the win. That is the best way for you guys to save face right now, because if more people, coming to crypto, a lot of people are not flowing to Dapps like developers had hoped. At any one given time, there's really only a few thousand people using decentralized apps. These things are not scaling at the rate that the crypto space is. A lot of people aren't looking at this. So if you really want to ensure your longevity and really ensure that, hey, you still have a way to earn money in the future, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years out, and you can be known as the best team or the best company to develop Dapps, you guys have to start being on the up and up. Personally, when I see things like this and I see that in the white paper there's nothing, first of all, when I saw the white paper, I said, okay, this earth, this planet with scatter points on it, it's tired. We've seen it. It's been used. Why does this have to be the end-all be-all logo for decentralization? Like, it's tired. Can we be more creative? Then you go down here with the opportunity. You guys can read this. I'm not going to spend too much time going over this because we do have other videos that we need to get out. It talks about why they chose Tron. Oh, it's scalability, it's transactions, how fast it is. Like, none of that matters anymore. The coin burn will increase liquidity and the mass adoption that's coming. Whether you believe that or not, I mean, that's you. The security and anonymity, well, there is no security with Tron. I mean, it's not a privacy coin. Everyone can see where the money's flowing. The thing that I felt pretty interesting is they have this coin anti. Now, to me on the surface, I'm like, this coin means nothing. I think the average rate right now is one anti is equal to 500 Tron. Well, on the surface, that's all fine and dandy, but when you do a little digging, you realize, okay, well, these guys came up with the coin, and the only reason why that's the case is that's just what was put in the source code. Not only that, but there's only, what, 100 million anti, so of course they can make it worth whatever they want to make it in relation to Tron, because Tron has like a gajillion coins. I could come up with a coin and say one of my Tronbet coins is worth 2,000 anti coins because there's only 50 of them. You see what I'm saying? Like, the developers give these coins power. On the outside, like, this coin means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. More scatter points. If you want to see who the devs are, you can't, because it's only 16 pages, and the last one is the roadmap. So again, some things that are very, very concerning, some things that I wish weren't the way that they were. And again, our end goal here is not to spread FUD, it's to keep parties in crypto honest. Because if we don't, things get spun out of control and we end up with a huge mess on our hands, and then crypto becomes this thing that nobody wants to touch because people are being lied to, they're being scammed, and they're being taken advantage of, and at that rate, nobody's getting into crypto. So if you're a dev, don't be cheap, do the right thing, don't look at projects as an easy way to make money, do them because they're legitimately going to make the space better. And if you're a website like Tronbet, don't do anything to draw any unnecessary attention to yourself, because if enough people lay eyes on this, and it's the right kind of people, the people that wear jackets with alphabet letters on the back, they're going to shut you down. And they're going to have to go back to the drawing board. And each time one of these things gets shut down, the community becomes a little bit more and more wiser. They become more and more hip to the game. So the ball is in your court. Do the right thing. Don't do the right thing. But I assure you, if you don't do the right thing, you will be shut down, and you won't be here in a year or two, because nobody is going to want to use your platform. Look at what happened with EOS FOMO or Ethereum FOMO or whatever it was. People figured out that was a Ponzi scheme real quick, fast, and in a hurry, and now nobody uses it. As I'm sure people will realize, this current FOMO game on Tron is a Ponzi scheme, and nobody's going to want to put money into it. No one's going to want to play it. And if Justin Sun doesn't do anything about scrupulous activity taking place on his network, then his coin could run the risk of being delisted off of exchanges for allowing such behavior to carry on in his own house, under his nose, without doing anything about it. So this game that we are playing has very severe consequences, and everybody involved needs to be held accountable. If you're playing these games, don't put in any more than you're willing to lose, because this is basically an online casino with house rules and house odds, and the house usually always wins. Justin Sun actually talked about, he gave it a huge shout out on Twitter. But knowing the problem that we have here with this payout on win, it's got to be fixed. If not, it makes Sun look bad. It makes Tron look bad. And if Tron gets delisted from any one of these major exchanges, like, forget about it. Party is over. And there are people who hold vast amounts of Tron because it's cheap. And we're all hoping that, hey, maybe it goes back up to what it was one day at the all-time high, so people can cash out. And, the people who want to hold it for a long time, they'll continue to hold it for a long time. But if things like this in the FOMO game continue to go and they go unchecked, it's going to spell out dire consequences for Tron and for Justin Sun and everything that he and his team are building. It will have dire consequences for people who are behind Tronbet, and we don't know who they are. But it will have dire consequences for them as word will get out, and people will not want to support this anymore. That's going to do it for this video. Again, guys, just wanted to shed a little bit of light on it. If Tronbet comes out in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, or if they even put out a note, hey, this has been brought to our attention and we fix it, we're planning on fixing it, we're going to follow this video up because, again, I'm sure this is somewhat fun for a small percentage of people. Again, we don't have a whole lot of people using D-apps, and I think things like this can be good for the space, but they have to be done right. And if they're purposely in the business of defrauding people, then no, I hope they fold up, I hope they collapse, and I hope we never hear from them again. Like the video, like it. Comments, questions, concerns, leave them in the comments section below. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at CryptoGlenn. Again, we are a network of affiliates, influencers, YouTubers. We don't all cover the same story, but we'll cover the same story if need be. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Again, I appreciate it. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here watching this video, and for that, I greatly appreciate it. We greatly appreciate it. If there's a video you want us to cover, tweet us, let us know, drop it in the comment section below. We'll review it, and if we feel you have somewhat of a leg to stand on after, doing our fact checking and our fact finding, we'll probably do it. Tronbet, do the right thing. No one's asking you to refund anyone's money, but fix the damn payout on when. Otherwise, it could be bad for you. See you guys in the next one. Peace.